to Metal Gods Meltdown. Today I had the pleasure to be joined by.
Z Marino from NZM. I'm based here in Miami, Florida, so it's like a 5 hours less than London time. I was just recently touring England with Ingrid Malmsteen. I also perform with him, and it's a wonderful. London is beautiful, beautiful city, and greetings to all viewers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what we can we expect from this album then.
I signed with the Fire Rock um, music group 2 years ago, and we decided to release the because just months before that I released the album Rise Above, which was like fifth album, actually fourth NZM album, and then I had one solo album that was released back in 2010 by Ingrid Malmsteen, Rising Force. So I took the best songs of each albums. That was actually Tom Collier, the CEO of Fire Rock Music Group, and we put like the best of the songs. Of course, it was like a narrow choice, and are they really the best? I'm not sure, but I think it's a pretty good choice. And yeah, this is the album.
I've seen the album cover.
Yeah,
That'd make quite a good tattoo. Are there plans for you to get a tattoo of the album cover?
no, I actually I already have, but it's the older version of it. I don't want to show you right now,
No
but
worries.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool album cover. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we got a merchandise and t-shirts. No tattoos though. No, no.
All right then. So for people that have not really heard your band before, like myself, um, what can people expect from this album?
Well, this is my band is been pretty long. It's obviously I don't know if it's well known in UK, but it's like a moderate success, and it's a compilation of all the songs, and it's just a power metal, heavy metal, simple stuff. Whoever likes heavy metal and something in between of power metal and prog rock, with classical heavy metal, with a little touch of the neoclassical.
Cool.
So for basically whoever likes metal it will dig this album as well.
So No Way in Hell then. That feels like a bit of a declaration. What were you escaping when you wrote
No
that?
in Hell is a single that was just released a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that feels like a declaration. What were you escaping when you wrote it?
um and it's basically typical relationship story, going wrong, like everything starts perfectly and then it goes to hell. Yeah, like, and I don't know if you watched the video, but
I have. Yeah.
you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically i i I combine some, I have to say, I combine some artificial intelligence footage, but the most of the videos, myself and the band is all live shots, but however the scenes from 18th century, it's all AI, but it's incredible that it's actually the AI was able to reproduce myself and my wife, and it's
Mhm.
like myself not that much, but my wife look exactly like it's like exactly replica, almost like her twin sister. It's crazy good.
Cool. Okay. So if someone's on the edge, broken, unheard any of your tracks before, which should they play to survive the night?
Well, the night, well, I can play. Let's say "Freedom Has No Price," which is the first song on the best of NZM.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no, it's not first. Sorry, it's the second one. I'm just looking. I'm stay corrected. Okay, yeah, and what else? Let me see. And definitely, yeah, to survive the night. Yeah, I don't know. Everything else is like definitely they don't want to play. Um, the end of days. That's not a good one. So I mean, because because I wrote this because it looked like, sometimes when you watch the news, it does look like the end of days. I hope we get out of this, but it's, pretty much pretty scary what's going on. It's not a joke anymore.
You've stood beside giants. What's the most brutal truth, though, you've learned from Unigwe?
To be relentless in music, and the power of perform, of the performance, that, actually I learned a lot from him. It's of course it's very hard to copy him, but he, in my opinion, he's still the best guitar player in the world, and I have to play the most of the crazy solos with him and do the harmonies on top of that. So in order to be next to him and perform, you got to get to that level and the same mood, and you have to be that crazy, and use all your abilities to accomplish that level. So that's it.
That's the
That's
one question about Malmsteen. I promise that was it. That was the only one. Okay, then back to your album that's going to be released. Are there plans to go do like a mini tour over there and maybe hopefully get into Europe with that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We looks mostly like Italy, and some Balkan countries for now. I don't know about England yet, but I have some contacts there too. So we have, how it is. You have to gather all the places, and that would be all scheduled for 2026, probably spring. I wouldn't tour in Europe in February.
No, don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right. So I've understand you're going to be releasing a metal ballad album as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Is it going to be covers or is it going to be like your ballads?
Yeah, it's basically it's like a softer side of me, and on every album there was like at least one or two slow songs, and just because everything else is double kick, and it's like a super intense, and I every now and then I have to put a ballad, and then Tom got it, an idea, said, why don't you, so your ballads are excellent, just do the collect all the ballads, and I was able to find 8 songs, which are like average 4 and 5 minutes, so it's almost like a 10 regular songs, so it's
Sure.
basically, so it's going to be released very soon. Actually, I'm finishing mastering as we're speaking, and as soon as Tom gets it, it may be released, maybe even this month.
What about February next year, the 14th?
The Valentine's Day, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you do play live with your band, what goes through your mind? I mean, do you still get nervous before you get out on stage?
Oh, no, 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 not anymore, because I'm, I had so many festivals, with the biggest one was like in Brazil, 200,000 people, but 50,000, 100,000, 35,000. So then when you play in front of 500, 600,000 people, that's nothing. Not anymore, not at all. Unless there is a technical uh, problem, like something like in-ears or monitor doesn't function, or something is wrong with the keyboard, or the it is always something, that could get you nervous.
No Way in Hell is the one new track on the album. So are there plans then to do a full-blown new album in the next year?
Exactly, and that was actually one of the songs of the new album which I'm working on, but album is like only halfway done. It's going to take much longer time, maybe probably, I would say, May of next year, to complete everything. But so this was one of the songs, and I just had this idea with the video, and Tom said, "Well, why don't we release a single, and then you can add this on the album later?"
Mhm.
So that was And I'm really proud of it. I think it's a really good song, and it's typical NZM style.
Cool. So you touched on a bit about AI. What about the album cover? We're going back to the album cover. Was that done by AI or was that drawn by an artist?
No, by an artist. Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
It's what's his name? Hold on a second. He did album for Metal Church. Mark Lopez.
Cool.
Lopez.
So do you plan to have that album frame behind you when it goes gold?
Uh, I hope so. Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe it will go gold if we're like 9085, but we are in
Yeah,
2020.
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, the digital release, and even though I have to say, this vinyl thing is more popular than ever.
It is.
Of course, but it's never going to be as popular as back in the 70s and 80s when that was the only way you can listen to the music.
Yeah, it
So
was the best days, wasn't it? Best days back then.
yeah.
What would you put down your longevity in the music scene down to? And then can you tell us the most outrageous thing you've ever done in the name of rock and roll?
Oh, listen. If you're in rock business of rock and roll, and you're dedicated, you basically never get old. It's just look at Mick Jagger. Come on.
Yeah.
It's something about rock and roll that keeps you alive and young. And not only mentally but also physically. It's just it
Mhm.
just keeps you young. As simple as this. And talking about outrage thing, yeah, yeah. Well, long time ago, I I have to admit, I which I'm not doing anymore, but I took a line of coke and tried to play the. I don't want to say who, play the show, which was very complex, and I made so many mistakes. There was outrage. It was like I was so ashamed. I mean, people didn't notice, and it wasn't. I didn't get fired, nothing like that. But I knew, and I said, never again. No alcohol, no drug before the show. That's the rule number one. You just completely ruin your performance if you do this. After the show, that's a different story. But before, absolutely no intoxication. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel like go back to your keyboard playing that the keys are speaking for you, saying things your voice can't?
Um, yeah, of course. You can when you play something, you can do way more than with a voice. But even though the voice is an instrument as well,
Of course.
and it's very delicate instrument because if you catch a cold or something, then there's no show. While I can play keyboards even if I have a 103 degrees fever Fahrenheit. I can still play the show, but try to sing with a temper, with a fever that high. You know, uh, yeah, definitely. The playing and any instrument, keyboards or guitar. You can definitely you know get more of the performance. However, singing has uh, its special a special part because when you sing it's a totally different vibe, and you're in a control of the crowd. You hold the microphone and you hear your voice. It's like you have this um, um, absolute monopoly of the stage, and an audience. Am I going to do some live streams?
Yeah, of your shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you say when you're playing like Rome in Italy or something like that, are there plans to like stream the show live? Sort of like COVID days.
Yeah, I will. We'll do it definitely. Yeah.
Your Yamaha endorsement speaks precision, and it's just must be such. I don't know when you got signed to have the Yamaha endorsement. How was that for you? Because that's just like a major keyboard company, isn't it? That must have been something special for you, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very thankful. Yeah, that happened when I play with Generation X, it consists of five bass guitar players, and you Steve Vai, Nuno Bettencourt, Zach Wild, Ingve Malmsteen, and Tosin Abassi. And then I was in the band in the rhythm section, so keyboards, bass, and drums, and we had to learn all the material for all five guys, and the show was 3 hours 55 minutes long.
Right.
We had like literally every second day show for 2.5 months. It was brutal, and rehearsals of 5 hours every day plus the show. It was like crazy, but it was amazing. Just to play with this amazing, the best guitar players in the world. And yeah, we toured in 2016, 2018, all the way up to COVID, and we were just about to go to Asia, and then the COVID hit in 2020, and
Right.
and disrupted. And it was supposed to be a live album, and I don't know that there's still footage somewhere. He may come back again. I don't know, but that's when I got this endorsement. I think it was 2018 or something like that.
Cool. So if you get into a time machine, then do you wish you could go back to like the 80s, 84, 85, and release your album then?
Yeah, it would be a little bit different though. Yeah, it would be a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
they were good days, man. They were good days. Okay.
No, it's just think about it. It's like it's still, the music from the 80s is still like, relevant. It's just it's probably technically, if you listen to certain recordings, it's still any Van Halen song, just technically, if you play it, even the best recordings of today, just that analog sound, it just blows away everything of today. I still, the warmth and everything, and it's the big sound from the studios that's why it's played on the radio. It sounds incredible.
Amazing, absolutely. All right, then.
Yeah.
So can you then tell us why we should check out your new album or your best of album?
Well, that's you should check out this, and also the new upcoming ballad album, and the single "No Way in Hell." But the best of NZM, it speaks for itself. It's the best songs from our library of 5 albums, like almost like 60 songs. And it was a really hard choice to pick up the songs, but it's a really, really good power metal / heavy metal rock album.
I bet it was a really hard choice, actually. Did you like sort of think, do you think there'll be a part two of the greatest or of the best of? Do you think that will happen?
Part two,
Yeah.
yeah, not not for a while. We'll wait like maybe another 5 albums, then we'll do another one. Yeah, it's definitely, this was just idea of the record label, and and it sounded great at the moment, and I think it's a good to have like 5 albums, and then release one with the best songs from these 5 albums. So let's wait for another 3 or 4 albums, and then we maybe do another one.
2030, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Just keep on listening to good rock music, and heavy metal, and stay cool, and peace in the world. That's what we need now the most. And if everybody would listen rock music or metal, and there would be no war in the world for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.